Welcome to First Garden, New Gardener. I'm Joey Baird. Well, at the end of the season, we want to save the seeds in which we want to carry on for the next year. Yes, you can go buy fresh seeds, and that is recommended on certain varieties such as cucumbers because of the high probability of cross-pollination if you have multiple varieties in your garden. But for tomatoes or peppers, that type of, or beans, the cross-pollination is almost non-recordable. So what we're going to do in this, we're going to save some tomato seeds from this Tiny Tim tomato that we've got growing in a 1-gallon grow bag from rootmaker.com. This is the actual size. This is the mature size in which it grows. About 12 to 14 inches tall. It's very prolific. Now the procedure in which I'm going to show you can be duplicated for any type of tomato variety. We're just doing this particular variety because we're out of these seeds and we want to save these. This is an heirloom variety, and you can see that even though late in the season here, we still have a lot of blooms and we still have some tomatoes, and I keep trimming back the damaged or sick foliage in order to make the plant healthy and we can keep it as long as we possibly can. This will be brought in the next to the south-facing window in our kitchen to try to keep it growing as long as possible. So I've got some very ripe tomatoes here, and that's what we left them on the vine until they fell off. And you can, this is just very spongy, almost to a rotten consistency is kind of what you're looking for when it comes to a beefsteak or whatever type of tomato you're saving. So you want to get a device, preferably a glass jar, and what we're going to do is we're going to break off, and you can see how that just peeled apart. We're just going to squeeze the insides out of the tomato into the jar. Now, if it's not completely all mooky, that's fine. We just want to squeeze them. And what we're doing is getting them out of the skin, because that's what's going to really hamper the seed-saving production is the skin. So we're just going to do a whole bunch of these. There's a lot of seeds in these little tomatoes. And there's another rotten one, or very ripe one, I won't say rotten. Now obviously there are not as many tomatoes seeds as there would be in a big beefsteak, but ooh. All right, we got a good amount there. That should be good. You can see here there are a lot of seeds in there. Do one more here because that tomato is just about inedible because it's very, there we go. All right, so now what we do is the fermentation procedure. What we're going to do is what you do is you squeeze that out, then you add a little water, enough to cover all the seeds. And you can see some of them are floating, some are sinking. They're all going to do their thing. And then we want to cover it with a paper towel, or in this instance a coffee filter, and we'll just put the ring on it. And we're going to let that set for about 3 to 5 days. You'll begin to see some mold form at the top. That's fine. What is occurring during this procedure is the water is eating away or dissolving that gelatinous slime around the seed coat that prevents it from growing. If this was in nature and it falls in the ground, that seed coat protects it until next spring. What we're wanting to do is get rid of that seed coat. Then in 3 to 5 days, you'll begin to smell kind of a unpleasant smell coming out of the jar. That's kind of your indication that the fermentation process or the seed gelatinous slime removing process is over. So you'll want to get a sieve that the seeds won't fall through, rinse the seeds out, then put them on a ceramic plate for about a week to dry. Be sure you label them, because even though these are the only ones we're doing, we will label them because we'll forget. And then you want a ceramic plate, because if you do it on a paper plate, it's going to stick to the paper. So a ceramic plate, you'll be able to pull them off very easily, put them in an envelope or a plastic bag, label them, and you're good to go next year. And the more seeds you have, the larger jar you want to do. But that is how you can save your favorite varieties of tomatoes for next year's growing season. Peppers, you just pull them out of the pod, or the pepper, let them dry. Beans, you let them dry on the vine. Very similar procedure there, based on the type of variety on how you save them. So thanks for joining me. This has been First Garden, New Gardener. I'm Joey Baird. Remember, as always, to rate, subscribe, and comment.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.